But I start tonight with a man, a heavyweight, a complex heavyweight in many ways. It's Audley Harrison, okay? It's getting increasingly difficult to put Audley in a box. Olympic gold medal winner, yeah, we know that. Beaten a few times and written off, yep, we know that. Comebacks from the brink, yep, we know that. Think about the Sprott fight. A punch away, though, from winning a proper world title. Yes, we know that. And anybody who denies that may be as deluded as people accuse Audley of being. Anyway, he's also been, and this is often neglected, an outspoken pioneer for boxers and their rights. Yes, we know that. Now you get the idea. Anyway, his showdown with David Haye is close, getting closer. They meet for the WBA heavyweight title on November the 13th in Manchester. Audley's been training at altitude with attitude in Big Bear, California. And I'm delighted to say he's back now and he's on the line. Good evening, Audley.
Good evening, Steve Bunce.
How are you? Now, I'm going to ask you this. It's the really dull question you have to ask. All of the altitude training and all of the sparring, everything went as good as could have possibly been imagined?
Oh, definitely. I had a great camp. I've always had good camps in Big Bear because you're isolated, you're locked away, you really can get focused. But this camp, we really had a great camp. You know, 3 sparring partners, just my whole training team. We just built that team spirit, and we left America, even though it was my birthday. We left buoyant and ready to do what I was born to do.
Now, Ald, is it too early to come down from altitude? Aren't there some rules on altitude that you come down 10, 7, 11, 12 or whatever days before you feel the benefits? And if you come down before then, don't you in theory lose some of the benefits you've gained by training at altitude?
Well, I mean, modern day sports sciences, you know, I'm a sports scientist.
And that's why I asked.
We've been able to put in a procedure in place that has been able to compensate for Haymaker making me come in early. So no issue, no problems, no excuses. We're going to be ready, and the benefit of altitude is going to remain with me.
Now, you've come back, and I know that Eddie Hearn's been keeping you abridged, and I'm sure you've been, or people that you know have been looking online. But when this fight was announced back at the start of September, you know, there was enough love for you out there, you know, from the boxing fans, casual fans, sports fans, and people listening to this show and other shows. But that's grown, and so suddenly, all it's a bizarre thing to say, but you're like the people's champion at the moment.
I know it is ironic, but all you got to do is look at history. And know that history repeats itself, and we've seen that with Chris Eubanks' career. Of course. And in the end, with his Carl Thompson fights, he saw it all turned around for him, and the public all came on his side. So it's been no different in my career. You know, I started my career wanting to be my own boss, wanting to be my own promoter, fighting against the system, and obviously some of the performances wasn't outstanding. It was easy for people to throw the bombs at me. Sure. With everything I was under, but I weathered the storm, rolled through it, and I think at now, I'm looking like the guy, just a man on his journey, a man on his mission, who's been beaten down, never given up, and that kind of story resonates with the people. And David Haye's coming across as a sport brat, who's the talkathon with the big mouth. So it's doing me a favour, because come fight night, like I said today, David's going to be surprised how much people are emailing me and texting me, telling me to shut this big mouth up and knock him out. So he's thinking he's doing the British public a favour, but actually I'm going to be doing the British public a favour by putting him on his behind and relieving of his belt.
And you know what, Ald? You know, I do a lot of travelling by train. I'm in all different parts of the countries, you know, because I'm busy and I love a pound note. And I'm being stopped by either ticketing inspectors or guys in taxis. And when I was first stopped back in early September, most of the people were like, oh, he'll knock him out, i.e. David will knock you out. And I tell you what, now it's different. Now it's 50-50. In the last 2 or 3 weeks, it's become 50-50 or maybe even 55-45 in your favour.
Well, the thing about it is the boxing fraternity, you know, we are a small percentage of the population.
Of course we are.
But the majority of the population know who Audley Harrison is. Some of them still don't know who David Haye is. Most of them do, but some of them still don't know who he is. Yeah. So they followed my story, the ups and downs, and now they know, oh, he's fighting for the world title, and obviously David Haye is the world champion. That makes it a big fight. I mean, it's like all the news channels are interested, the general public are interested, and if you know my story, of course you're going to want to wish me to do well. Especially when David's coming out and saying what he's saying, because at the end of the day, I'm at my door, and David Haye is a tough challenge, but it's a challenge that I can beat. And when you've got people like Vladimir Klitschko and Roy Jones and Frank Bruno, all these people who know boxing, far more than these internet bloggers, guys who think they know boxing, and when they come out and say Audley has a chance to win, it makes people reconsider. Well, if these people are saying he has a chance to win, it's not just a puncher's chance, I have a pedigree that's going to make me go into that ring believing I can win, and I've trained hard to win, and I'm going to be standing at that starting line believing I can win, believing I've paid the price. Because when it comes down to it, what it's gone back to is pure sport. Forget all the hype, forget all the drama. It's my ability against his ability, and I believe my ability is better than his. I believe I have more fundamentals than him, better fundamentals, a better trainer, and I believe I have better boxing skills than David Haye. And ultimately, that's what it's going to come down to.
Now, one of the things that been trying to explain to people here and over at 5 Live is they've asked me, why has David responded like this? Why has David seemed to lose his cool? And what I've said to them is, I don't know. Do you know why you so instantly and so easily managed to wind him up?
Of course I do, because at the end of the day, David can talk all he wants to talk. Like I said, his ego's way out of control, and in his heart and mind, he thinks, Audley's had so much bad performances, I know I'm going to take him out.
Of course.
In his real deep soul, he knows who I am. I know who he is. He knows the fights that we've had in that ring. David has never bullied me in that ring except for one time. All the other spars, we've been even spars, and we've gone back and forth fighting like cats and dogs.
Sure.
And this is how this fight's going to be. So he's got a sneaking feeling in his deep soul. I hope the real Audley don't turn up. And I've got a message for him. The real Audley's definitely going to turn up. That's why David's training as hard as he can, because he's just making sure, just in case the real Audley turns up, I need to be ready. And the Audley that fought Michelle Assisia and Danny Williams too would have destroyed David Haye, and that's who's turning up on the 13th.
Listen, once again, and you've never failed to do this. You've always sold the fight. You've always talked yourself through it. You've always talked it up. But as I've been explaining to different people on different channels and I must have done about 15 different loads of BBC. What
celeb you are?
Listen, hey, listen. All those gigs were for nothing. Let's not get carried away, brother. So, what I've been telling, one question that most presenters ask me when I talk to different people around the country is it true? Are they really not getting on? And I say, listen, it's 100% true. It's 100% true, man.
Yeah, it definitely is. But, it's going to be a tough fight. Listen, I wouldn't want it to be easy. I'm expecting a tough, hard fight. And I'm expecting I'm going to have to go where I probably haven't gone before in the ring. And I'm ready for that. This is my moment of destiny. I fought the Olympics with one hand. And I'm back to that place there. And I know David Haye, if you look at the history of David Haye, Orlando Solis, bloody Carl Thompson, and just go back. David Haye has been put in pressure situations before. He hasn't come through. So I know it's going to be a tough fight, but ultimately I'm going to prevail, because what I'm going to bring to the table is all of my tools, and I believe they're too much. I know 100%. I believe and I know I get the opportunity to prove it on the same that they're going to be too much for David Haye. So it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a fantastic occasion for British boxing, and it's going to be a fantastic occasion for me, because I'm going to become the heavyweight champion of the world. No doubt in my mind.
And I know one thing, providing you're not in Timbuktu, I know you'll speak to me on the Thursday after the fight. Audley, it's it's a delight to have you on. I'll speak to you very soon. Audley Harrison, thank you very much.
Cheers, bud.
That's Audley Harrison there. He's been away. He's done his training done his training in altitude and in isolation, preparing for the fight of his life, to go to places where he admits he's never been. A recent poll in the Boxing Monthly, the brilliant boxing magazine, the weekly magazine, I think it was 21 people thought that David Haye would win and 3 people thought that Audley Harrison can win. I'm sort of amazed that people still don't consider that Audley can win. They still don't see that Audley can win, and which I find amazing, that people can't even see a way that Audley can win. These guys are both over 15, 16 stone. They're both over 6'2", 6'3". Anyone can win in a fight like that. Trust me, we'll do a little bit more on them next week and a little bit more on them the week after, because it's a massive fight. It's not just going to be a big fight. It's a massive fight. There's going to be 18,000 in there. It could set records on Sky. They're both going to make millions. Absolutely brilliant event. Okay, I'm going to